A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum, a repository of death. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames which houses Scotland Yard is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a crumpled newspaper, a tin can of lighter fluid, a small radio, all are touched by murder. A mandolin string. Familiar object.
I'm told, Inspector, that mandolins are mighty popular with the young folk these days.
Popular? Yes, they are. However, I'm rather happy to say their popularity is confined to music, not to murder.
Today, this mandolin string can be found in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum. In just a moment, you will hear The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. Now, The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Well, here we are in the Black Museum, Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Here lies death, arranged neatly on the shelves and tables open to your view. Now, here's a spoon. It's a simple household spoon. Our murderer was meticulous. With this, he measured out a careful dose of poison. That oar up there on the wall, that was used by the stroke of a famous rowing aid at Henley. Later, it was used in anger, swung at a man who stood on the edge of a pier, stunning him. The man drowned in the Thames very quickly. Ah, here we are, the mandolin string. Just a coil of rust-spotted wire now. String from a mandolin. A relic of another era. An era of polished carriages, well-groomed horses, simple, sedate living, Edwardian England. And Louise Evans.
Louise, my dear.
Stuart, darling, I'm playing for you.
In more ways than one, she's playing for you, Stuart.
Louise, you've got to listen.
Go ahead, son. She'll listen. Just say the right words.
Louise, I love you. You're adorable.
You're getting closer, Stuart. You're doing better now.
Louise, my darling, will you marry me?
At last. That's the way, Stuart. You see? I told you she was playing for you. The church organ, not Louise's mandolin, played them up the aisle that June. They were quite happy, quite domestic, particularly on the quiet winter evenings.
You're looking very well tonight, Louise.
Thank you, dear. Anything of interest in the newspaper, Stuart?
No, nothing you'd want to know about.
Oh, Stuart, darling, I wonder if you'd mind...
Something you want, sweet?
Well, Maisie's gone to her room. I hate to disturb her.
Let me get it for you, whatever it is.
Thank you, dear. It's just that...
Yes?
Well, you may think it's a little odd, but... Well, I have this funny little desire for a glass of wine.
Don't apologize, darling. There's nothing wrong in a glass of wine. Is there any in the pantry?
Well, no, dear, that's just it. A trip down to the cellar.
Not another word. My pleasure is to serve you, my dear.
The husband gets up. He puts his newspaper aside and leaves the room where his pretty young wife sits by the fireside. Walks down the hallway to the cellar entrance, pausing on the way to pick up a candle from the table by the stairs. Lights the candle, opens the little doorway. The candle flickers, casting a fitful yellow light, darkening the shadows where its beams fail to penetrate. Stuart Mason starts down the stairs.
Stuart, answer me. Maisie! Maisie, help me! Help! Oh, what is it, madam? What is it? Oh, quickly, run for Dr. Lipton. Mr. Mason's fallen down the cellar stairs. He's hurt. I'm afraid he's badly hurt.
Oh, it must be a terrible shock, Mrs. Mason, I know. If you take a sleeping powder.
Oh, no, Doctor. Oh, it was my fault. My silly wish for a glass of wine. If I hadn't asked him... Oh, Doctor, the least I can do is to face my grief. That's the least I can do for poor Stuart.
If you wish, Mrs. Mason, I understand. Death is a terrible thing. When it comes so suddenly to one so young, it is most terrible of all.
Yes, it is terrible. A broken neck, falling down the cellar stairs by flickering candlelight on a simple and hardly necessary errand.
My dear, as a close friend of both your late husband and yourself, I feel justified in asking you to contain your grief. After all, you're young, and if I may say so, pretty.
Nelson, you are sweet. I simply do not know how I would have lived through these long, long months without poor dear Stuart's friends, particularly you.
This brings me to a point, my dear. I've meant to discuss it with you. I begin to feel something slightly more than respect for you, Louise. If I may take the liberty...
Nelson, watch your words. Look out, Nelson. A pretty blonde widow with wide blue eyes, so delicate and fragile. Watch your step.
Oh, my loneliness in this house. At night, the floors creak. They seem to try to speak with me. Maisie does her best, but it's still so... Well, you know. You're lonely too, aren't you?
I must confess, Louise, that I am. Now, see here, young lady. We're going to start a new life for you.
Oh, Nelson. Some cream for Mrs. Church, Maisie.
Yes, madam.
Oh, thank you.
You know, Louise, this is the nicest idea. Having coffee with our menfolk, I mean. I always hated the idea of the ladies withdrawing while the men had their port alone after dinner.
Well, I can't say I mind when our hostess is as lovely a bride as Louise. Hey, Nelson, do you agree, old man?
Of course I agree. After all, I married her.
How you men do go on. Don't they, Alice?
Let them, dear. It's one of their few pleasures.
I have another pleasure I want to share with you, Alice. Friend.
Yes, Nelson?
Louise's absolute talent with the mandolin.
Oh, Nelson, please.
The mandolin, yes, I seem to remember you played very well, Louise.
Oh, do, Louise, please.
Well, really, my talent is so small.
No, we won't take no for an answer, darling. Here it is. Now, what shall your first selection be?
Oh, dear. One of the strings is missing.
Oh, missing?
Well, I was... tuning it yesterday. One of the strings broke, and I didn't get downtown to buy a new one. Oh, I am sorry. Truly, I am. Perhaps next time you'll hear.
Too bad. Really too bad. It would have been so nice. Recently married young lady with a gaily beribboned mandolin in her lap in a lamplit room. It would have been so nice. In fact, as they prepared for sleep, Nelson Carter said just that.
Too bad about your mandolin string, dear. It would have been so nice to hear you play tonight.
Ooh.
What is it, dear?
Oh, the sheets are icy. It must be really cold outside.
Fred Church said it was.
And you are so susceptible to colds. Darling, we've got to have a hot water bottle.
Well, ring for Maisie, why don't you?
Well, she was exhausted, poor dear. She worked so hard cooking and serving dinner. It seems unfair to disturb her.
All right. I'll get it. Do you know where it is?
In the kitchen cabinet, dear. Right in front.
All right. I'd better take a candle.
And use the back stairs. Darling, it's shorter that way.
Once again, a young man lights his way through a dark house toward a steep stairway by the flickering flame of a candle. Once again, a young man makes his way along a carpeted hallway. Starts a hurried descent of wooden stairs.
Nelson! Nelson! What happened?
All right, Maisie. Your mistress will rest now. I gave her a sedative.
Oh, poor woman. Oh, poor child.
Poor? This will be the second fortune she inherits. Hardly poor.
2 accidents like that. Oh, Doctor, it's like the poor girl was a curse.
Aye, it is. Well, things like this happen. As you say, 2 accidents and so much alike. I shall probably recommend that your mistress builds herself a new house with no cellar and all on one floor.
Whatever for, sir?
No stairs, my girl. No stairs for anyone to fall down and break his neck. Well, I'm on my way. No visitors allowed.
No visitors. And no stairs in a new house. Well, perhaps. Certainly for another year at least the mandolin will be silent. I think that may be counted upon. That and the widow's weeds and the tearful glances from wide blue eyes. Plus there was one item that no one counted on.
You sent for me, Inspector?
I did, Peck. What do you think of this?
Anonymous, sir.
Yes. Read it, will you?
Inspector Higley, don't file this letter in the waste paper basket. I am not writing it without due thought and consideration. I cannot let you have my name as yet. But think of this. 2 young men of wealth and standing in the community have died via falls downstairs with broken necks as the consequences. Don't you think at least a perfunctory investigation is called for? Don't you think so? And it's signed An Anxious Friend.
Yes. Well, Sergeant?
Well, someone with an education wrote it.
Someone who hints he or she will come forward if we find anything. I cannot let you have my name yet.
Yes, I noticed that, sir.
Well, Sergeant, wear your best suit tomorrow. You and I are going calling on a young widow in Oxford Street. I understand she plays the mandolin. Rather well, in fact. Rather well.
Yes, she played rather well. And a string of that mandolin on which she played could be seen today in the Black Museum.
In just a moment, we will continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. And now we continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Two young men dead with broken necks. Both cases certified. Accidental death. And then an anonymous letter. Inspector Higley and Sergeant Peck paid their call. In fact, they paid two calls. The first on Dr. Lipton.
I'm rather glad you dropped in, Inspector. I know there's been whispering. Two unfortunate accidents like this, it would lead to rumors.
Rumors? I see. Such as...
the usual thing, that Stuart Evans and Nelson Carter may have been helped to fall down the stairs.
You mean pushed?
Something of the sort.
And your opinion, Doctor?
My opinion is certified on the death certificate, sir. Accidental deaths, both of them.
I see. Well, thank you, Doctor. I'm glad you're so certain.
Yes, the good doctor appears quite certain. Nonetheless, Inspector Higley and Sergeant Peck made their second visit.
Oh, I'm so glad you came to see me, Inspector.
Thank you. It's not too often that the police are welcome.
No, I suppose not. But, well, I can't help hearing about the things that people are saying. Maisie brings home so many odd tales.
I was wondering, Mrs... Sergeant, interested in music?
Quite a good-looking instrument, ma'am.
I shall never play it again.
Oh? Why not?
Both Nelson and Stuart loved the music. I cannot get over the fact that I took a mean excuse and refused to play the night that Nelson died.
Oh? An excuse?
Yes. You see, the Churches, Alice and Fred, were here.
I see.
Nelson was pressing me to play. I refused.
Mm-hmm.
I used a missing string as an excuse, when I had a stock of strings on hand and could have replaced the missing one. I refused Nelson that last pleasure.
Tell me, do you always keep a stock of mandolin strings on hand, ma'am?
Yes, in the cold weather I do.
I see.
When the temperature drops, the strings seem to get brittle.
Quite.
They break quite easily.
And where do you buy your mandolin strings, Mrs. Carter?
At Murchison's music shop on the High Street. Oh, Inspector.
Yes?
Sergeant, I appeal to you as men of the world. Can't you help me scotch these dreadful things that people are saying? Can you? Would you? Please?
The inspector and the sergeant said they'd try, and they did. Their business was facts. One fact turned up immediately upon their contact with Mr. Murchison of the music shop on High Street.
He showed me the bill of sale, Inspector.
Uh-huh.
She bought the strings, sent them made for him with a written order 3 days after this Carter fellow was buried.
Interesting. Now, why would a woman who says she had a stock of strings on hand the night her husband died, and says further that she'll never play again, buy mandolin strings shortly after the funeral?
An interesting contradiction in dates and actions. A further interesting contradiction came to light some 3 months later.
Another of those anonymous letters, Sergeant. Just, she's playing that mandolin again. I seem to remember, Sergeant, that Mrs. Carter told us she'd never touch the instrument again.
Such contradictory behavior seemed to indicate another call. The inspector dropped in on Louise Evans Carter to mandolin.
Inspector Higley. How nice. All right, Maisie.
Yes, madam.
Inspector, my friend Clifford West.
How do you know?
Inspector, I'm afraid you've caught me in a fib. Is that very bad?
A fib? Well, it couldn't be bad. Not from you, Louise.
I don't quite follow, Mrs. Carter.
I told you some time ago I'd never play my mandolin again. And you've heard me playing.
Yes, so you did. And so I have. But there must be a good reason, I assume.
Oh, but there is. You tell him, Clifford, dear.
As it happens, sir, we are both very, very happy, and music seemed extremely apropos. You see, sir, Mrs. Carter, Louise, has just done me the honor to consent to be my wife.
Number 3. The inspector sensed the tension in Midhaven. He waited. All of Midhaven seemed to be waiting with him. The first action came from an unexpected quarter.
Inspector Higley, I demand you trace this letter for me at once.
May I see your letter, sir?
Here.
I see. Mr. West, 2 men have died with broken necks. Are you the third? Are you entering the den of the tigress? Tracing a letter like this is not the easiest.
There was no question in the inspector's mind that the author of Clifford West's letter was the same party who had written the 2 notes addressed to the inspector himself. A brief comparison of the handwriting removed what little doubt the inspector had. And Sergeant Peck dropped in on the small Mid-Haven post office.
This your postmark?
That's right, sir. Of course it is.
Ever see this envelope before?
Well, maybe not. Seen hundreds like it. You can buy that cheap kind in any stationery shop in Mid-Haven.
Blank, Inspector. Nothing.
I expected as much.
Do you think that West fellow will be scared off, sir?
I doubt it. Sergeant, take this copy over to the Mid-Haven Gazette, will you? I want it run in every edition for a week.
Think you'll get an answer, sir?
Well, remember the first letter. I cannot let you have my name as yet.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps the party concerned will feel now is the time to reveal himself, or herself, as the case may be. That promise of absolute privacy may do the trick.
I saw your advertisement, Inspector. I came. I hope you can protect me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sincerely do hope so.
Your confidence will be respected, Mrs. Church.
Thank you, sir. I trust you don't feel there's any jealousy involved of any kind.
My job is facts, ma'am. Do you have any?
I don't know. You see, Stuart and Nelson, both were young men of whom my husband and I were very fond.
Uh-huh.
And I remember so distinctly how disturbed Louise seemed when we asked her to play that night. She seemed upset over our discovery of the missing string on that mandolin. I guess that's all, Inspector.
It's not very much, is it?
No, it's not. But it seems so peculiar. And the mandolin, always that mandolin. Inspector, how could a mandolin be used to kill anyone?
I don't know yet, even if anyone was killed. But I'd like to find out. Mrs. Church, have you any idea of Mrs. Carter's social engagements? I mean, when, for instance, is she probably out of her house for a length of time? You can advise us as to any such matter.
It seems Mrs. Carter attended the ladies' auxiliary of the local church each Wednesday afternoon. An activity a respectable young widow would be expected to enjoy. And it was Wednesday afternoon when the inspector and the sergeant called.
The mistress isn't in, sir.
I doubt if she'll be too long. May we wait?
If you wish to, sir.
The inspector went into the sitting room. Sergeant drifted toward the kitchen. Maisie, safely occupied by the good sergeant, Inspector Higley swiftly found the cellar stairs. Carefully he moved down, examining each step, each lift and tread, each section of the baseboard. Halfway down.
Well, interesting to say the least.
Upstairs now to the back stairway. Again the careful examination. Again about halfway down.
They'll do it every time. Every single time.
Then quietly into the kitchen.
Sergeant?
Yes, sir?
I don't think we'll wait any longer.
I'm sorry, sir. The mistress went along to the vestry and she ought to be...
Oh, that's all right. Just tell her we called, will you? Come on, Sergeant. We'll drop back another time.
And the 2 policemen left the house to return to the inspector's office.
It's something, Sergeant. Not much, but something.
It convinces me, sir.
And me. But how about a jury?
I don't know, sir. Of course, if we had a bit more, the nails themselves, sir.
Yes.
Then there's the business of buying that stock of mandolin string.
Sergeant, we'll drop in on Mrs. Carter this evening. Do you by any chance play the mandolin?
It was nice of you to come back so soon, Inspector. I do hope you've been able to help me with all that mean whispering I told you about.
I wish we could, ma'am. I wish we could. Did I tell you that Sergeant Peck is interested in the mandolin?
Why, no, you didn't.
May I, ma'am?
Certainly.
Yes, lovely tone, ma'am.
Yes, it has.
Quite a romantic instrument, I believe.
It goes back to the troubadours in France, centuries ago.
Yes, I've heard. It certainly had its place in your life, Mrs. Carter.
Yes, I dare say it has.
I've been wondering about something, Mrs. Carter. I hope you can help me.
Well, if I can, I will, of course.
We checked with Mr. Murchison at his music shop.
Oh?
Yes, he tells us you purchased a stock of strings shortly after Mr. Carter's death, not just before, as you told us.
Well, then I'd forgotten the exact date.
It seems rather peculiar that you should forget that after you made such a point of it to us.
I was under a terrible strain. I'm sure... If you'll stop plucking that A string, Sergeant, my nerves are...
Oh, I'm sorry, Ma'am. I didn't mean to break it. I'll get you a new one.
That won't be necessary, Sergeant. I have extras right here in this drawer. That was the A string, wasn't it?
I'm rather surprised, Mrs. Carter. A woman of your obvious means keeping nails, and bent ones at that, in a drawer of a desk in her sitting room.
I forgot to throw them away.
Yes, I dare say you did. May I have them, please?
But you'll leave them alone.
I dare say also that they'll fit exactly into certain holes in the baseboards of your cellar and back stairs, just above the steps where someone unsuspecting would trip over a tightly stretched mandolin string stretched between two nails, like these, Mrs. Carter. You're taken in charge, madam. The charge is willful murder of your two husbands. I must warn you that anything you may say may be taken down in...
And so, once and for all, the mandolin string was silenced. It can be seen today in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Orson Welles.
Louise Evans Mason Carter was tried for murder. The police stated facts and produced evidence. But Louise wept and lifted those blue eyes of hers to heaven, and the jury disagreed, and she was not convicted. Not in court. She was convicted by her neighbors and by her friends. They knew. And so, Louise Evans Mason Carter moved away, far north, to Scotland, alone. And there she died some 20 years later, still alone. And now, until next time, till we meet in this same place and I tell you another story of the Black Museum, I remain, as always, obediently yours.
The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles, is presented by arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Radio Attractions. The program is written by Ara Marion, with original music composed and conducted by Sidney Torch. Produced by Harry Allen Towers.
Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, things like a packet of matches, a coffee pot, a paring knife, all are touched by murder. Now here is a pint bottle labeled meat juice. Perhaps you've seen one of these. Your grandmother certainly saw one. In fact, when you were a child, you may have been fed meat juice for the iron and strength it contained from just such a small glass bottle. Yet here it is, in the midst of all the other relics of death.
Well, Inspector, what do you think?
Mr. Helland, we did our best. The little bit of white sediment at the bottom of the bottle, see it there still? You know what that is?
Yes, arsenic. And to me, at least, the means of murdering my brother.
Well, today, that bottle of meat juice can be seen in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum. In just a moment, you will hear The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. Now, The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Here we are in the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Yes, here are all these carefully labeled weapons, labeled in boxes and vials. Here is sudden, unexpected, violent death. Here, for instance, is a small mirror, such as you might find in any lady's handbag. A very pretty lady used this one once to inspect an escaped tendril of soft brown hair, but what she saw reflected was not merely disordered beauty. She saw murder strike. Ah, yes, here. Here it is. The bottle labeled meat juice. Obsolete, archaic type of writing on this label, replete with flourishes and shading. No prosaic typing. Handwritten by an expert penman. Then this was only natural in the 1890s, when this bottle became the focus of an odd, even a very disturbing situation. Of course, on the surface, the Hammond family, Liverpool, England, 1892, displayed no evil. All was happiness on the surface.
Shall we drink to the great event, shall we?
Of course, dear.
Oh, forgive me, Bob. What event? There you have it, my dear. My own brother doesn't remember our wedding anniversary. Your anniversary, old man? Which one?
Our 8th, Arthur. 8 years of happiness. Not to mention 6 years of our son.
And, Arthur, you forgot. Perhaps because I wasn't at the wedding.
That's right. Robert met me and we were engaged in America.
But we were married here at my aunt's.
Exactly, while I was in America myself. Well, with all that straightened out, shall we toast the occasion? After all, how many times...
A pleasant family gathering on a pleasant family occasion. Nothing evil on the surface. Of course, undercurrents do show themselves occasionally.
Almost 3 o'clock. The time I took my medicine.
Yes, dear. Which one is it this time? The liquid or the tablets?
I took the liquid at 2. That means the tablets now, dear. Oh, you've no idea, Arthur, what it means at my age to be tied to medicine bottles. How Ruth stands me, I really don't know.
You're a hypochondriac, Robert. Let's face the truth.
No laughing matter. These sedatives, well, I learned all about them when I was in America last. One contains arsenic, the other has strychnine in it.
Oh, now you are joking.
I'm not. In very small quantities, but poison nevertheless.
Here are your tablets and the water, dear.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, Ruth. It's not easy, I know, for a girl to be married to a man twice her age.
Don't be ridiculous, Robert. I'm very happy. And so would you be if you let yourself. Honestly, Arthur, sometimes I think your brother is super...
Do you detect the undercurrents? The constant harping by a 50-year-old husband on the fact that his wife is not yet 30? All the evil is there, deep down, underground, but it's there. One would hardly say it came to the surface in an incident such as this.
Oh. Writing someone, my dear?
Just a note to the Plaza Hotel in London.
The Plaza? London?
There. I had word this morning. Aunt Rose is very ill, and there's no one to stay with her. You've been out all day, so I've written to reserve rooms to save time before I told you.
Yes, of course. You ought to go. Dottie can watch over David, I suppose.
Dottie is a jewel among servants, dear. Of course she can.
Excellent. I saw Dr. Hubert today, my dear. He's not at all satisfied with my condition. However, we shall see. He's given me another...
Evil to him who evil thinks. Perhaps. Still, the greeting between aunt and niece at the Plaza Hotel in London was something to think about.
Darling.
Darling.
Oh, my darling. Been so long.
Too long, my beloved, too long. But now, my sweet, 3 whole days together. 3 glorious days.
Oh, John.
An interesting aunt, wouldn't you say, particularly when the young wife is half her husband's age? Now, there were some things which Ruth Hammond had in common with her husband. One was a love of horses and horse racing. It followed then that when the time for the Grand National arrived, Robert pulled himself together and took his wife to the world-famous race. And then an incident took place relevant to this story.
Oh, it's wonderful, Robert. Just wonderful.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, my dear.
Hello, Ruth. Imagine running into you here.
John. Oh, John.
The gentleman seems to know you, my dear.
I'm sorry. Mr. John Browning. My husband.
How do you do?
Well, thank you. And you?
As well as can be expected.
John's an old friend of mine, Robert. Aren't you, John?
Yes, I think I can say I am.
Well, won't you join us? There's plenty of room in our box, and I'm sure we'll be happy to have you.
A casual meeting, a simple introduction, a gesture of hospitality, but who would expect a circumspect young woman to cast caution and good behavior to the wind?
Dottie! Dottie!
Yes, sir, Mr. Hammond. Right here, sir.
Where were you?
I was upstairs, sir, with Master David. Is Mrs. with you?
I left her at the racetrack.
Oh, will she be along soon, sir? I mean, sir.
I don't care what you mean or what she does.
Robert, can you ever forgive me?
If you must make an exhibition of yourself, Ruth, must it be in public?
Is that all you care about? Your public pride? Oh.
I ought to bar you from my bed and board forever. If it went for my son, I would.
Robert, please forgive me. I'll never act like that again. John Browning is out of my life. Truly he is.
Very well. We shall see. Dottie.
Yes, sir?
Forget what you've seen here. Understand? Forget it all.
The
now it was the husband's turn to visit London. Robert Hammond went to the city to see a specialist about his nerves, about the pains he believed came from his liver. From the specialist, he went directly to a chemist's shop.
I'd like this prescription filled, please. Very good, sir. Thank you, sir. Can you make it up quickly? Let me see, sir. Yes? Yes, I can, sir, but you'll have to sign a receipt for this preparation. It contains strychnine, sir.
The wife, too, was visiting a chemist. A chemist in Liverpool.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, I think that completes the list. Oh, no, I'd almost forgotten. Fly papers. You do have fly papers, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. Any particular brand?
No, but I prefer the strongest you have. I hate to see anything linger longer than necessary.
Ruth Hammond took her purchases with her. At home, she rang for the maid.
Lovely, Mum. Yes. Is there any hot water on the stove? Oh, yes, Mum. Cook always keeps the kettle boiling. Very well, Dottie. I want the kettle and the dishpan. I have to soak some fly paper. Whatever for, Mum? A druggist, or a chemist you'd call him, in America showed me how to obtain the arsenic from fly paper. It's part of a preparation to keep the complexion fresh. And my skin is none too good these days, Dottie. Fix the kettle in the dishpan, will you, please? Thank you.
Perhaps nothing more would have been thought about that, about the quarrel in the hall, if another event had not occurred almost immediately. Robert Hammond fell ill. Not merely the imaginary illness of the hypochondriac, but an actual illness. Dr. Hubert was called. He made his examination. Then...
May I see you a moment, Mrs. Hammond?
Of course, Doctor.
I must admit I'm puzzled by Mr. Hammond's symptoms. His heart seems strong enough, but he complains of chest pains and this constant retching, you know. I'm worried, Mrs. Hammond.
Have you no diagnosis?
I'd prefer a consultation, if you don't mind.
Whatever you think. Of course, Doctor. Whatever you think best. Robert's never been like this.
A consultation. The learned doctors probed and listened and probed again. By then and waited. Dr. Hubert stood by then and waited. Outside the sick room, Dr. Davis addressed himself to the problem.
I don't like it, Hubert. All that retching. It's the prime symptom of arsenical poisoning.
But the man's been dosing himself with arsenical medicine for years.
I know those compounds. The amount of arsenic is minute. Hubert, who is nursing him?
Why, his wife, of course, with some help from the maid.
I want a registered nurse in there, and no one else.
You don't suspect anything, do you, Davis?
I want to prevent suspicion if I can. Get a nurse in there as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we will prescribe tonics, meat juices, and that sort of thing. And I want the bottles watched, night and day. The medicine, the patient, the nurse, all that's in the sick room. Everything and everyone else outside, including the lovely wife. Yes, including the lovely wife.
Well, today, the bottle of meat juice can be seen in the Black Museum.
In just a moment, we will continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. And now we continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
1892, a man might die slowly for unexplained reasons without benefit of laboratory tests, gastrointestinal examinations, or any of the aids to life and living which grace our times 60 years later. The doctors in 1892 did their level best. They used their knowledge well. If it came to placing a nurse in charge, denying a wife access to the sick room, or merely ordering concentrated meat juice as a tonic, they performed their functions according to the time in which they lived. Thus it came about that Robert Hammond suffered in his bed, Ruth Hammond was ordered from his room, and his brother Arthur came to stay in that tense, foreboding household.
Yes, Dottie?
Oh, the mistress, sir. She asked me, please, to mail this letter.
That letter's open.
Oh, please, sir, if I can explain.
Well, get on with it.
Well, I was taking it to the post box, and I dropped it, and the envelope was dirty. You can see the mud, sir.
Yes, I see, but what else?
I wanted to change the envelope, sir. I steamed it open. I couldn't help but read the beginning, sir. Beg your pardon. Oh, Mr. Arthur, I'm so afraid for the masters.
Let me see. Addressed to Mr. John Browning.
Is it necessary to add more? To report the contents of that poor, indiscreet love letter? I doubt it. The letter read and then put away. Arthur Hammond strode to his brother's room, called the nurse aside.
I want you to keep special watch, very special watch, nurse, and under no circumstances permit Mrs. Hammond anywhere near these medicines.
Very well, sir.
But even a nurse must rest. And her hour off each day, this nurse was replaced by Dottie, the Hammond's maid.
Oh, Mrs. Hammond. Oh, the doctor says you're not to come in here.
Please don't be ridiculous, Dottie.
Is that you, Ruthie? Please come here.
Of course, my dear.
Have they been keeping you away from me?
Oh, please, Mum.
Are these all your medicines, Robert?
Yes, dear. Most of them are filthy tasting.
Poor Robert.
Oh, ma'am, you're not supposed to touch this meat juice.
Can't be bad, Robert. It certainly smells good, like good rare steak. I wouldn't mind taking it myself. But all these other pills...
Wouldn't you mind taking it yourself, Mrs. Hammond? I wonder now. Then I'm not alone in that. Brother Arthur wondered, too. And he worried. Particularly when he found you alone in the pantry, washing medicine bottles.
Hi, Ruth. Washing bottles? Isn't that Dottie's work?
This at least I can do for my husband, even though I'm not allowed to see him.
But you did see him yesterday.
And if I did, who has a better right?
I'm not speaking of rights, Ruth. I'm speaking of wrongs.
If you have something of which you wish to accuse me, why don't you?
I may. You see, I had the meat juice you handled yesterday analyzed.
I see. You did?
It contained arsenic.
And you insinuate I put it there?
I do.
I did put something in that bottle. Robert asked me to. Some powder he had in a small box. He told me it always gave him relief, and the doctors had forbidden it.
I see. They forbade it. Well, my dear sister-in-law, we shall see what we shall see.
They saw soon enough. 24 hours later, a weeping Dottie told Brother Arthur.
Oh, the master's death. Just a moment ago. So quick it came. Oh, no time to call anybody, not even you, sir.
Dr. Hubert stated.
I personally will not certify this death until there has been a post-mortem by Dr. Davis.
And Dr. Davis reported.
Death was due to aggravated inflammation of the internal organs. The body contains something less than half a grain of arsenic. I recommend an immediate investigation by the police.
Enter Inspector Adams of the CID.
What's your opinion, Dr. Hubert, as an expert on this case?
It will be very difficult to have an opinion, Inspector. You see, Mr. Hammond was a true hypochondriac, always dosing himself with patent medicines, all kinds of prescriptions, but the man's dead. And added to the difficulty is that there seems no really natural cause for his passing.
Thank you, Doctor.
Not at all, Inspector. Anything I can do to help?
From the doctor's office, the inspector made his way to the house of mourning. There, his first object of inquiry was Arthur Hammond.
So you are suspicious of the cause of death?
Wouldn't you be, Inspector?
I need more facts in my possession. There are such things as libel laws, sir, and charges of false arrest.
Well, perhaps you'd be interested in this, Inspector.
And what is it?
A letter written by the widow to her London paramour and discovered quite by accident.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Hammond, which you think might be of
There were
interest?
several things which Brother Arthur brought to the attention of the inspector, and these, in turn, brought Dottie into the presence of the man from the yard.
Now, there's no need to be frightened, girl. What's all this about your mistress and a bottle of meat juice?
I saw her, sir. I saw her slip something in the bottle. I kept the bottle. Here it is, sir.
Did anyone else touch this bottle besides Mrs. Hammond?
Only nurse, sir. She guarded the medicines proper, she did. Much better than I could.
I see. Then you are prepared to swear that no one touched the bottle before or after Mrs. Hammond except the nurse?
Yes, sir, I am. Oh, swear, sir? You mean in a trial like, Inspector?
Yes, my girl. Oh, hadn't you thought of it before the police came in?
The questioning completed for the moment, Inspector Adams gave his instructions.
Sergeant, I want the Hammond house searched from top to bottom. Here's the warrant. Get to work.
The sergeant took a crew and did go to work. Every nook and cranny of the old house was seen to. Closet walls were sounded in search of secret panels. Hearthstones were pried loose. Even the coal bin was emptied. Sergeant Hall reported back to the inspector.
Here it is, sir. Arsenic. All over the place.
It followed that the next morning.
I have a warrant for your arrest, Mrs. Hammond. The charge is willful murder.
It was a celebrated trial. The courtroom in Liverpool was packed with the curious, the cruel, and the very, very few who found some sympathy in their feelings. The newspapers enjoyed their traditional field day with the lurid, scandalous details of the story. The really pertinent details of the case were few, however, simple and contradictory.
Arsenic was found in the possession of the prisoner. She did not deny it was hers.
Dr. Davis testified concerning the post-mortem.
I found a little less than half a grain of arsenic in the body.
Yes, Doctor, but would you say that this poison was the cause of death?
I would.
And then the contradictions set in. Asked the same question, Dr. Hubert replied.
No, I would not say so, and certainly not in the case of this patient.
Ah, and why not?
Mr. Hammond had accustomed himself over the years to taking arsenic in small quantities. He was used to it.
The prosecution countered this with the Liverpool chemist who Mrs. Hammond had visited while her husband was in London.
She came in that morning with a list. The flypaper was not on the list.
The chemist had no idea what Ruth Hammond had wanted with the flypaper. However, Dottie did.
Yes, sir. She boiled the arsenic out of the flypaper.
Boiled it out? Whatever for?
She said to make something for her complexion. She told me she'd heard about it in America, sir.
And did you, Dottie, ever see her use such a preparation?
No, sir. I never did.
And the defense? Well, in 1892, the accused did not testify in self-defense. The accused was permitted, however, to make a statement under oath.
My Lord Justice, with your permission, my Lord, 3 things. I did soak the flypapers for the arsenic they contained. I made a cosmetic preparation from it, which I learned about from Dr. Henry Maysfield in Brooklyn, New York, when I lived there. I did put powder into my husband's medicine. He asked me to. It was a preparation he brought back from London, which had helped him many times before, but which his doctors here refused to give him. Finally, my Lord, I wish to state that for the sake of our son, for David's sake, my husband and I had a complete reconciliation. And on the day before his death, I made a full confession of the terrible wrong I had done him.
The jury retired. The court waited. The prisoner waited. The crowds waited. Hours passed. Then the knock on the locked door of the jury room. The bailiff opened. The 12 good men and true filed back in the jury box. The judge's gavel rapped. The clerk asked the foreman to rise and face the prisoner. He intoned the traditional question. Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have.
And what is your verdict?
We find the prisoner guilty of premeditated murder.
And today, the bottle of meat juice, the decisive clue in this case, is still to be found in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Orson Welles.
Well, they didn't hang Ruth Hammond. No, despite the fact that public sentiment was so much against her at the start of the trial, it changed quite drastically once she had been sentenced to hanging. Letters, telegrams poured into the Home Office and to the London Times, and a reprieve was granted. And after many long years in prison, Ruth Hammond was released. She returned to America to die there, forever silent about the crime for which she had been punished. The judge himself, when asked concerning her guilt or innocence, replied only, "I never did express an opinion." And now, until next time, until we meet here in the Black Museum for another story, I remain, as always, obediently yours.
The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles, is presented by arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Radio Attractions. The program is written by Ara Marion, with original music composed and conducted by Sidney Torch. Produced by Harry Allen Towers.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum, it's a repository of death. Here in the grimy stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a phonograph record, a postcard, a color photograph, a simple statuette, all or touched by murder. Here's 2 scribbled notes, bits of paper with 3 words scrawled across them. Slogan known around the world, a slogan you recognize. Words created in the kind of lonely fun men far from home, men at war, have enjoyed through all of history.
What's it mean, Inspector?
It would be nice to know, Sergeant. I suspect that if we did know, we'd have the answer to this nasty business.
Well, this killer, sir, it's possible he's an American. That phrase was American, sir, all through the war. Kilroy was here.
Kilroy was here. And he's still here. In the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Here we are in the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Here's a typewriter. Your secretary uses one. Perhaps your son or daughter write their school essays on a machine like this. This one is used to write a letter. That letter brought a woman to an address and death to the author of that letter. Here are the notes. Scrawled on lined paper such as children use, children who are just learning to write. And a photograph showing the same 3 words scratched on a wooden surface. 3 times 3 was a number in witchcraft in ancient times. 3 times 3 words were written. This wasn't witchcraft, merely murder. Began for Inspector Liggett and Sergeant Porter in the usual manner. The telephone rang in the inspector's office at the yard.
Inspector Liggett here.
Sergeant Garth, 11th District Metropolitan Police, sir. We're at the Royal Roost, sir. Private supper club, 15 Marley Court. The proprietor, Matt Bolton, has been shot and killed, Inspector.
Very well, we'll be right along. Well, so Matt Bolton has finally departed this earth, Porter.
In the expected manner?
In the expected manner.
You wouldn't know Matt Bolton. 99 chances out of 100 you never heard of him. But enough people had heard of him to net Matt Bolton a neat 6-figure income from various protective associations and entertainment enterprises, such as the Royal Roost, one of those small private supper clubs, manages to keep its license by operating just within the law. The club was easy to find. In place of a neon sign, there was a police constable at the door.
Yeah, looks like it's this way, I think.
Coffee in here, Inspector?
It always is in these places. Apparently a good many people prefer to amuse themselves breathing a combination of tobacco and poor liquor fumes rather than good fresh air.
Quite a costume on those girls.
The roosters in the Royal Rooster. Get it, Sergeant?
I've never seen a rooster with so little on besides tail feathers.
Neither have I. Look, we better get to work, Sergeant.
The 2 policemen crossed the nightclub, skirted the dance floor, and quietly passed through the doorway near the bandstand. To their left, another door stood open, revealing a cubicle complete with mirror lights, another girlish rooster, a man, and a body. A body full length on the floor. The girl was saying,
"Look, we simply can't send a chorus out once more. Do I get to do my act or don't I?"
I'm Inspector Liggett, Sergeant. The young lady may do her act. I doubt if she'll try to go outside the club in that costume.
Well, thank you, Inspector. First this man said he thought the show ought to go on so the customers wouldn't be disturbed, and then he held me here. Well, look, that's my cue. I'll be back. Don't worry, I'm not going anyplace. You're so right about that, Inspector.
Knows her way around, that girl, sir. Found the body. Didn't turn her hair.
So I notice. Find the weapon, Sergeant?
No, sir, not in here.
Porter, check the exits.
Very good, sir.
Oh, we've done that, sir. Only 2. The way you came and the back door, fire exit. No one in the kitchen saw or heard anything. We haven't touched the body. Waited for you and the medical examiner, sir.
Very good. All right. Turn out his pockets, Porter.
Yes, sir. Here's something, Inspector. Tucked in his breast pocket.
Quite a touch. I take it you didn't see this, Garth?
No, sir. We left the body strictly as it was.
Odd. Almost a signature. It's a note. Kilroy was here.
For a moment, memories of other days crowded into the tiny dressing room. A phrase which had meant chuckles once seemed incongruous in that atmosphere of violent death. And then Mabel was back with boyfriend.
May I inquire who your escort is, Miss Martin?
Larry King, meet Scotland Yard.
Gentlemen, how do you do? Is this your usual practice, Mr. King?
If you mean escorting Miss Martin home, that's correct.
You are good friends?
We're engaged.
I see. Miss Martin, before you leave us to get dressed, during your employment here, have you ever had any trouble with Mr. Bolton?
Do you mean, did he make advances?
Yes.
Well, naturally.
I see. Mr. King, did you know about these advances?
I did.
Did you ever have any trouble with Mr. Bolton?
Nothing to speak of?
Of course, it never is anything to speak of. You served during the recent war.
I did. 8th Army. All the way from Tobruk to northern Italy.
Does the expression Kilroy was here mean anything to you?
The Americans, 5th Army, they used it. I've seen it many times.
Very well. Leave your addresses, both of you, with Sergeant Garth here. And don't leave the city. We may need you. That's all for now.
Now the routine begins. Inspector Liggett and Sergeant Porter return to the yard. The orders go out.
Have them run a complete check on Bolton's pals. They'll all have alibis, but run the check anyway.
That was a start. Now the patient waiting, putting together the few facts available. It's the hardest part of police work anywhere.
So, Porter, no prints on that note except yours and mine.
Correct, Inspector.
What have you got on King on the go?
He's, remarkably respectable.
Nothing remarkable, Sergeant. What about him?
He's a lawyer in the city. Rather successful. Good reputation.
Ever crossed Bolton's path in his work?
Nope. He's a copyright lawyer. Deals with writers, mostly.
Nothing there, then.
Takes patience. Lots of it. Check and recheck. Wait for information. Wait for the telephone to ring.
Inspector Liggett here.
Detective Ashton, sir. 23rd District.
Go ahead, Ashton.
At 14.5 Haven Mews, sir. We've been watching the place, sir. That King fellow lives there.
Yes, I know.
The superintendent's wife has been found, sir, on the cellar steps, strangled. We found the note in her apron pocket. Kilroy was here, it says.
Wait for the telephone to ring, and when it does ring, another death, another note. No solution. Merely complication piled on complication. A short while later, in the basement apartment of the newly widowed janitor.
You found her yourself, Mr. Evans?
Yes, sir. Lying there she was on the cellar steps. I was going down to look at the oil burner.
I see. Now, your wife have any enemies, Mr. Evans?
No, sir, no. Where would the likes of us come in, having enemies? Quarrelsome a little, you might say. But what woman isn't?
Oh, she quarreled with you?
With me, mostly. Not that I could blame her. It's hard work, a place like this, you know. Once in a while with a tenant. Well, the children in 4B, for instance, they write on the walls. So my wife argues with the mother.
Mm-hmm.
The nice young man in 6G lets the bathtub run over. 5G complains. My wife scolds Mr. King.
I see, yes. Now, is Mr. King at home now?
Oh, I believe so, sir.
All right. Thank you. We'll do our best to find whoever killed your wife, Mr. Evans.
Oh, thank you, sir. She had a temper, I know, but she never did no real harm.
Up in the self-service elevator on the 6th floor. Find 6G and ring the bell. Have it opened, not by Larry King, but by Mabel Martin, far more fully dressed than the last time the inspector saw her.
Well, Miss Martin, collected the insurance yet?
Cut it out, Inspector. I don't have to stand for that sort of thing. In fact, I could ask you for a warrant before I let you in here.
But you won't, will you, Mr. King?
Ask your questions. They're about Mrs. Evans, I assume.
Oh, Larry, please.
Don't worry, darling. Ask your questions, Inspector.
You quarreled with Mrs. Evans?
I did. I wanted my bathtub fixed. The drain was backing up. She told me to go to fix it myself, that's all.
You're sure that was all? Murder seems to have a way of happening in your vicinity, King.
Is that an accusation?
What's all this to do with Matt Bolton?
I don't know. But there is a link. Quite a clear link, Miss Martin. You see, on Mrs. Evans, we found a bit of paper, and on it was scrawled, Kilroy was here. Any ideas on that, ex-soldier, now Solicitor King?
Solicitor King had nothing to say. His puzzlement, his lack of knowledge seemed honest enough. Inspector Liggett drew no conclusions. He waited. The routine continued. The reports came in.
The Martingale is a new job. Same type of club. I've seen the act, Inspector. Same songs. More clothes.
Nothing on Bolton's cronies. Every one of them has an alibi.
Yes, King seems to follow a set routine, Inspector. To the office, back home, dinner, then calls for the girl. Even eats his lunch at the same time every day in the same restaurant.
Nothing much to go on there, just a time of waiting. A week passed. Telephone rang once again.
Inspector Liggett here.
Detective Ashton, sir. We've another one for you.
What?
Yes, sir. A butcher this time. Name of Andrews. 2 blocks from the apartment house where King lives. Head bashed in with his own mallet. Scratched on the chopping block with one of his own knives is the same old message, sir. Kilroy was here.
Kilroy was here. Familiar words with a smile in their words to remember fondly. 3 times they appear. On a butcher's block, on scraps of paper, and today they can be seen in the Black Museum. A 3rd killing, and signed exactly the same way. Kilroy was here. More, this murder had taken place within a few blocks of 14.5 Haven Mews, where Larry King lived. The same young man who was the secret fiancé of the singer, and whose dressing room the first body had been found. The same young man who lived in the house where the janitor's wife had been strangled. Inspector Liggett lost no time reaching the scene of the latest crime.
Ashton.
Yes, sir.
Anything fresh?
Just the things I reported, sir. There's the mallet, the weapon.
Yeah.
The message was scratched with this knife.
Any prints?
So the laboratory crew are trying to raise some. Nothing yet.
Very well. Who's the woman?
The widow.
Mrs. Andrews, I really dislike bothering you with questions at this time, but you understand that speed may be the essence now.
Yes. Yes, of course, Inspector.
I understand that it was you who found your husband.
Yes. I stopped here to get some money for a dress. It'll have to be a black one now.
Did you always come to him for that kind of money?
Well, Jim had his ways. He was considerably older than I am. He seemed just strong when we first married. Well, later he was... Well, it changed to domineering.
I understand, but now look, just a few more questions, please. Does the phrase on the chopping block mean anything to you?
Kilroy was here? No, it's just a... Well, I think I heard it on the radio once or twice.
From the way you described your husband, I'd say he was rather, positive in his opinion.
A mild way of putting it. Positive. Domineering, a man who brooked no argument. As the questions went on, the picture became more clear of a large, almost brutish man who covered his deficiencies with bluster and bullying. Finally...
just one more point, Mrs. Andrews. Did your husband ever argue with his customers? I mean, did he make any enemies among them?
Well, some. only over little things.
Can you give me a specific instance?
Well, last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was last week. A nice young man said Jim was overcharging him. They had words. The man, his name is Larry King, from the apartment house on Haven Mews, he swore he'd never buy here again.
I see.
Have I helped, Inspector?
You may have. Just a little time will tell, I suspect. Just a little time.
A little time. Within the hour, Larry King was in custody, taken in charge for 24 hours on suspicion of complicity. His fingerprints revealed
nothing.
His answers to the barrage of questions revealed
nothing.
Wearily, the inspector and Sergeant Porter returned to the office to face unrelated facts and a no-progress report. Wearily, the inspector picked up the receiver of his office intercom.
Yes, Sergeant?
You have a caller, sir.
Who is it?
Miss Mabel Martin, sir. She insists on speaking with you.
Miss Martin was ushered in, seated in front of the desk.
I've got something to tell you, Inspector.
Please do.
Well, Larry didn't kill anybody.
Didn't he?
No. I did.
Steady, Sergeant. Please take down Miss Martin's statement. Now, I must warn you, Miss Martin, anything you say will be taken down in writing and may be used in evidence.
Yes, I understand.
Now the floodgates opened.
I killed all three of them and left the notes to make it look as though Larry did it.
So simple, so obvious.
Matt Bolton threatened me. He said if I didn't come back to him, he'd change his insurance policies and tell Larry about it. Well, I shot him. It was a .22 that Larry had given me.
One death accounted for. The policeman listened gravely.
Mrs. Evans was always snooping. She threatened to tell Larry about Matt and me. I did it in the cellar, behind the coal pile. I strangled her.
Quite logical. The inspector waited.
Andrews, the butcher, I used to shop there for Larry. Andrews made some advances. He reached for me, and I grabbed a meat cleaver, and then I scratched the note on the wood. That's the story, Inspector.
Yes. Tell me, how much do you weigh, Miss Martin?
About 107 pounds. Why, what's that got to do with...
Sergeant Porter, what was the caliber of the bullet found in Matt Bolton?
.38 caliber, sir.
Thank you. And did you notice a coal pile in the cellar at 14.5 Haven Mews?
It's an oil burner, sir. Quite modern.
Thank you. And the weapon in the Andrews case?
A mallet, sir. Not a cleaver. A mallet.
And, Sergeant, can you picture a young woman of 107 pounds knocking out and killing a man of Andrews' size?
Not very well, sir.
Of course, it's obvious. Her heart and her courage are as large as she is, if not larger, but...
Oh, all right, have your fun. I've made a fool of myself, but Larry didn't kill anyone. I know that. I know it. You can't do this to her.
Look. I wouldn't worry, Miss Martin, if I were you. In fact, if I were you, I'd hurry out to the front of the building. Mr. King is about to be released, and I think you'll want to meet him there, won't you?
Oh, Inspector. Oh, Sergeant, Oh, forgive me, please.
How about it, Porter? Care to have a girl like that to marry?
Yes, sir. For more reasons than one. Where are we now, sir?
Offhand, Porter, I'd say we were just about where we were when we first heard of the Andrews killing. Put on your thinking cap, Sergeant. This is quite a problem.
They sat there in silence. Their minds sifted fact after fact. And once they'd been through the meager supply of facts on hand, they started over again.
At one point, the inspector said, half to himself,
"There's something we're overlooking. Probably quite a simple point. It usually is, but..."
He was quite right. In fact, the inspector was quite appalled, so appalled. He spoke in what amounted to a whisper.
"Sergeant, hand me that telephone directory, please."
What? Oh, yes, sir. Can I help you, sir?
No, thank you. Look, just get your hat, Sergeant.
Get my hat?
Yes, we're going back to 14.5 Haven Mews.
That's King's address.
Yes, and according to the directory, it is also the residence of one Joseph Kilroy, one of the 7 Kilroys listed in the London telephone directory.
It doesn't take long from Scotland Yard to Haven Mews, not when you travel by police car with a siren going. It doesn't take long to race upstairs to a third-floor apartment, ring the doorbell.
Come in, gentlemen. I heard your arrival in the street. What took you so long, gentlemen? Oh, really, now. Mr. Kilroy, I must warn you, anything you say... that's all right, I understand. Don't mind in the least.
Well, I'll be...
Watch him, Sergeant.
I am, sir.
Frankly... Liggett. Inspector Liggett. Oh, yes, thank you. Frankly, Inspector, I'm rather annoyed with you. Here I go to all the trouble of killing a man so that nice young fellow in 6G could marry that cute little baggage he's going with. And you arrest him instead of me. I see. I'm sorry about that, too. So you killed Bolton? Saw him one night treating the girl really nastily in front of this house. If I may ask, why the woman? Oh, she was a nagger. Really annoying. And after I killed one, it struck me I couldn't be hanged more than once. So I might as well do old Evans, too. Thoughtful of you, Mr. Kilroy. That butcher was a private matter, though. He kicked a dog once. I saw him. Didn't treat his wife any better. No kids. Figured he'd leave her his money. So I got him with his own mallet. Quite simple, you see. And you signed your name to each one? Oh, of course. Good deeds are scarce in this world. Thought I ought to get proper credit each time. Now, if you'll excuse me... Sergeant! Good work, Sergeant. He's strong, sir. Stronger than he looks. Cases like this usually are. Well, we'll need the ambulance. Not the wagon this time, and use the telephone directory, Sergeant. I find them quite useful books when I remember to use them.
Who'd have thought it, sir? How many of our murderers are considerate enough to sign their killings, sir?
Murderers don't sign their work, do they? Unless, of course, their sense of humor is as twisted as their valuation of human life. This killer did autograph his killings. And today those notes can be seen in the usual place for such things, in the Black Museum. Joe Kilroy was insane, of course, by every normal standard. Insane enough, certainly, to sign his name to 3 murders. And by every normal standard, the gentlemen of Scotland Yard acted correctly within the rules of their profession in tracing every possible motivation, every possible suspect, before they came to the obvious solution. After all, it is logical that when men spend their lives dealing with the deliberately obscured, they can actually fail to notice the openly obvious. Now the notes remain in their usual place, in Scotland Yard, in the Black Museum. Until we meet again in this same place for another story about the Black Museum, I remain, as always, obediently yours.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum, a repository of death, a repertorium of violence. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames which houses Scotland Yard is a warehouse of homicide.
where everyday objects, a teacup and its saucer, a lady's parasol, a surveyor's chain, all are touched by murder. You take this mallet. It's a familiar object, a wooden mallet, worn, got a wooden head, marked, nicked with all its uses. Maybe you have one in the cellar, in the forgotten tool chest at the bottom of your closet, in the toolbox of your car. But I doubt if you would care to own this one.
Hello. Here's something, Constable. Just an old mallet, Sergeant. Yes, notice the grease on it. And these. They look a bit like hair, don't they? Human hair.
Well, anyway, today, the mallet can be seen in a very special place of honor in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Well, here we are, the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's very special, very particular museum of murder. Here lies death. Row on row of cabinets. And in the cabinets, each in its place, each with its simple white card detailing victim and killer, time and place. The weapons, many of which you couldn't conceive as weapons, line these stone walls. Now, here, for instance, this is a woman's handkerchief, a bit of lace at the edges, crumpled, yellowish with age, yet stuffed as a gag in its owner's throat. It stifles screams, this handkerchief, and the sound of death. Here, a length of heavy chain. Once this chain enclosed a rich man's driveway. It was wrapped around his legs another time. It weighted his body in his private lake until the grappling hooks took hold. And here we are. The mallets. Little white card says, in part, Guy Fawkes Day, bonfire night. Guy Fawkes Day, it's November 5th. It's an old English tradition, you know. The celebration of Mr. Fawkes's attempt to blow up the House of Commons, the English House of Congress, almost 350 years ago. Every November 5th, bonfires of all sizes are to be found on the English countryside as part of this celebration. And that's why, you see, no particular attention was paid to a particular bonfire near a highway in Northampton one November 5th. Although one fellow did comment.
Quite a blaze, that one, eh, Davy? Yeah, flames the street 15, 20 feet. Silly to build a fire that big way out of here. Well, maybe the fellas wanted London to see it, eh? Well, every man to his own idea, I always say.
You see, no particular attention for that moment. Now listen a moment. Yes, a man running up the road, past the two fellas trudging home.
Hey, mister, anyone at that bonfire?
Didn't look in a hurry. Getting on to town.
Yeah, I see. He's travelling. Think he's going to catch a train here about this time of night. Might as well save his breath and walk.
Too bad if you'd been walking. If Marty and Davy hadn't been on the road just then, the fire hadn't been quite so spectacular, even for Guy Fawkes' bonfire night. However, the ifs don't count. Davy was a touch curious about that bonfire now, as he and his friend came almost abreast of the blaze.
Mighty big fire. Think we ought to take a look, Marty? Oh, I'm tired. Fella said there wasn't nobody over there. He didn't. Said he didn't look. Well, I'm going to. Those spots get into the trees, we can have trouble, the wind and all. Oh, all right. Have it your own way. Yeah, blimey. You can feel the heat right over here. That's no bonfire. It's a car burning. Here, we got to get help. This will make trouble. Come on.
The two men dashed for town in the wake of the man who passed them, and there in the village, they found the local police constable. Quickly, they gathered tools left over from the day's bombing and buckets, stirrup pumps, and raced back to the fire in the constable's old car. They didn't waste talk at the scene. In a matter of minutes, the blaze was under control. A few minutes more, and they could get close enough to see into the car, or see into what was left of it.
Not too close, men. There's a lot of heat there.
Here, Constable, point that flashlight over there.
Where?
To the right. No, more to the right. The front seat. Looks like a bundle of rags.
Oh, that's no bundle. That's what's left of a man.
Charred, blackened, a twisted heap, but still recognizable as the body of a man. When the first shock was past, the local police constable ordered the men to stand watch while he telephoned. Before dawn, the experts were on the job.
All right, Sergeant. What have we got so far?
Number of the car, sir. MU2489. Some fragments of the clothing. Garter buckles, belt buckles. A few pieces of cloth. That's about all, Inspector.
Yeah, not much to go on. Oh, well, maybe pathology will give us something. Meanwhile, trace the registration, find the owner, search the area around here carefully. Routine, Sergeant. Let me know.
Yes, sir. The usual.
Now then, you two. Yes, sir. Aye, sir. About this fellow who passed you running away from here. What did he look like? Well, it was pretty dark last night, sir. Well, he had no hat on. Yes, sir. Mott is right. No hat, but a top coat and a briefcase. I see. Anything else? Notice his hair? Well, it was dark. It seemed like a lot of it, sort of a round face. You couldn't see his eyes or anything like that. How old do you think he was? Well, he was running pretty fast, like. Well, nobody over 35 could run like that with a coat on and all. Well, unless he's been an athlete, of course. Oh, well, no matter about that. Anything else you remember about him? Not me, sir. Here, Inspector, do you think he had something to do with this? We're not ready to think yet. First, the facts have to be gathered. We'll get out this fellow's description. He may recognize himself and offer to help. Meanwhile, we'll find the owner of the car. A great deal of...
The fellow didn't offer any help. All the newspapers carried his description, but there were no results. The number of the car did bring results, however, and the person of a youngish woman who gave her name as...
Nora Williams. It was my husband's car. He works as a salesman for a firm in Northampton. He's on the road a lot. He set out this time on the 4th.
There's no use your viewing the remains, Mrs. Williams, but perhaps you can identify these.
What are they?
Garter buckles, a belt buckle.
Oh, that's all that was left?
Are they familiar to you, Mrs. Williams?
No, not at all. My husband never wears a belt, only braces.
I see. Mrs. Williams, was your husband on his way to his firm, the home office, so to speak?
I don't know.
Oh, he didn't say?
No, and I called the firm. They said they didn't expect him until next week.
Williams, Robert Williams, owner of the burned car. He never wore a belt. His firm didn't expect him for a week. Interesting. Maybe not quite as interesting as the little scene in progress under the wreck of the burned car.
Hello. Here's something, Constable.
Just an old mallet, Sergeant.
Yes, notice the grease on it? And these. They look a bit like hair, don't they? Human hair. There it is, Inspector. Found it about 10 yards from the wreckage.
Oh, just an old mallet?
No weathering of the paint.
Grease, bits of hair. How far was it from the petrol tin?
Just a few feet. Another few steps away, that scorched area began.
Oh, the main area, or that sort of trail we found burned through the weeds?
The trail, sir.
You're reconstructing something, Sergeant. Let's have it.
Well, sir, suppose that someone hit Williams with the mallet and drove the car off the road. Then threw some petrol from the tin on the car and laid a kind of trail of it until the tin was empty.
Yes.
This party might have tossed away the mallet, dropped the tin, and thrown a lighted match onto the gasoline. It's possible, Inspector.
Yeah. You may be closer than you think. Pathology reports that the man who died had been drinking heavily, and that the bits of cloth we found had been soaked in petrol.
Soaked in it, sir? And not burned?
The cloth came from the armpits of the dead man's jacket.
Soaked to the armpits in petrol. Whoever wanted Williams out of the way was thorough, to say the least.
Yes, but we don't know yet, Sergeant, if the corpus delicti is Williams. All we know is that Williams is missing, and his burning motor car contained a corpse.
Yes, sir. But if the body isn't Williams, then our missing man...
Maybe Williams, and maybe a murderer. Well, we'll see.
There wasn't much to see. No Williams, no identity for the corpse, just a few bits of blackened metal, funny-looking mallets, a patrol tin, a bit of scorched earth, a pathologist's report, but no Williams. That was all. And then quite suddenly there was a plethora of Williams.
My name is May Williams. I haven't heard from my husband for 3 days. It's not like Robert. We were married in May. He wanted it then because my first name is May.
I'm Dorothy Williams. I married Robert Williams 2 years ago. Our home's in Brixton. I have a little boy, Robert Jr., of course.
I left the hospital to come here, Sergeant. Our son was born just 2 weeks ago. He's our second child. Robert and I have been married 3 years. He was at the hospital on Guy Fawkes Day just before he left on his trip. I can hear him saying, "Now, Elizabeth, don't you worry. I'll be back in 5 days."
I interviewed Mrs. Williams myself, Sergeant. Her first name is Nora.
I know it seems incredible, Inspector, so I checked the records first. Every one of these women is married to a Robert Williams, and every one of them says the license number of his car was MU2489.
4 of them. London, Brixton, Greenwich, and Bournemouth. And 3 children. What have we here, Sergeant? Motive for murder or suicide?
And that mallet can be found today in an honored position in the Black Museum. Inspector Lorch and Sergeant Broughton found themselves of a common, if curious, state of mind. There was the very human and male tendency towards some small admiration for a man who could keep 4 wives reasonably happy. And most men have their difficulties with one. And there was the very stern necessity of finding this Robert Williams, who disappeared apparently into thin air, or who'd been burned to death on bonfire night in a blazing automobile. However, Inspector Lorch and Sergeant Broughton had something to work with now. They had 3 wives. The first one to be questioned was Dorothy Brixton.
What can you tell me of his usual route in his business, Mrs. Williams?
Nothing much, Inspector. Robert never talked business much at home.
Oh, what then, Mrs. Williams?
What then? Oh, what did he talk about?
That's right.
Oh, pleasant things, the cinema, football matches. He was a great one on sports. And after a while, he liked to talk about the baby. Bob is only 6 months old, you see.
Yes. Was there any regular time he was at home, like the 1st and 3rd weeks of the month, for instance?
No, sir. He'd be at home when he could. It was a bit difficult at first, getting used to that, but I managed. And he's so regular with the household money. Every Monday morning in the mail if he isn't at home.
By cheque, Mrs. Williams?
No, sir. By money order. Or in cash, sir.
Have you cashed in the last money order? Would you know where it was drawn?
No, I can't say, sir. I never took notice of that. Oh, Inspector?
Nothing much there. Nothing much except a picture of a quiet, rather shallow fellow interested in sports. It was Sergeant Broughton who took on May Williams. May Williams. She's young and quite pretty and very frightened.
To you, Mrs. Williams, 3 days is a long time.
Like 3 years, almost. He wrote me every night he was away. Now... Oh, Sergeant, that wasn't my Robert in that car, was it?
We don't know. Not yet, anyway. Suppose it wasn't. Suppose your husband has just disappeared.
Oh, he'd never do that. Robert's a wonderful man. Athletic, thick dark hair, and A round face, almost like a boy's.
That much tallies with the man on the road, at any rate. We hope we can help you find your husband, Mrs. Williams.
Elizabeth Williams is no fool, and a newborn baby can be quite a problem when your only means of economic support has disappeared.
You see, Inspector, he told me this trip was taking him to Kent, and now the car's turned up in Northampton. Well, you can see why I'm so worried.
And under those circumstances, of course.
I never questioned Robert very much about his trips. I guess I was too glad to see him home. And he never stayed long enough to wear out his welcome. Ours wasn't a slippers and pipe kind of existence.
And do you have many friends in your neighborhood there in Bournemouth?
I do. Robert never cared to go out much.
I see. Well, for a man of about 35, that doesn't seem, well, too normal.
We liked each other's company, and there isn't very much money. So when Evelyn was born, we let ourselves get tied down. Now that Gerald's here, well, even more so.
And you say he was at the hospital on Guy Fawkes Day?
Yes, he brought flowers. Oh, I told him he shouldn't spend money on frippery like that, but it was sweet, and yes, he did say something about tomorrow will have to take care of itself.
Of course, not one word to any of the four women about the others. This was a matter for the inspector and the sergeant to keep strictly to themselves for a while at least. But beyond this, nothing. No sign of Robert Williams. Routine, if thorough, checks were made of the four areas where the four women lived.
Inspector Lodge here?
Call for you, sir. Mr. Thomas Brickwell from Faringham.
Oh, I don't know any Brickwell.
He says he wants the inspector in charge of the Williams case.
Oh, does he? All right, put him through, Sergeant. I'll speak to Mr. Brickwell.
Yes, sir.
Inspector Lodge speaking.
My name is Brickwell. I own a dry goods shop in Faringham, 215 Harley Road.
Go on, Mr. Brickwell.
I'm fed up with this Williams fellow. Think it's high time you police did something about it.
Well, we hope to, sir. Quite soon.
Then why don't you pick him up today?
Have you any idea where he may be?
He's on the 10:30 bus for Bournemouth.
What?
Left my house just a while ago.
Oh.
As far as my daughter Mary is concerned, I'd be just as pleased if she never saw him again.
Oh, is he your son-in-law, Mr. Brickwell?
Not yet. And never, if Mary will listen to me. I don't like the whole thing, Inspector. Turns up without his car, then the car is reported burned up, and Williams won't go to the police. Mumbles something about not wanting to be involved. It's a funny business, and I'm interested in protecting my daughter.
Well, you've been most helpful, Mr. Brickwell. We'll be in touch with you shortly. Good day, sir.
Good day, Inspector.
Yes, sir?
Sergeant, our man is on the bus that left Faringham for Bournemouth at 10:30. Check its first stop and pick him up. It looks as if he left his latest conquest to visit his latest offspring.
I beg your pardon, sir. Is your name Williams? Robert Williams?
Yes, it is. What can I do for you?
I'm from the CID, sir. I hope you don't mind coming along. Inspector Lorch would appreciate a word with you.
May I see your identification?
Of course. Here you are.
I see you. Very well, Sergeant. You know, it's a little strange. Actually, I was on my way to see you.
Well, that was his story. And he stayed with it all the way. He was on his way to the yard to tell his story. And it was quite a story.
Let's have that again, Mr. Williams.
I picked up this hitchhiker, you see, just below Northampton. He had a bottle and began to drink rather steadily.
See?
I was just about on the verge of asking him to leave the car when the engine began to cough. I was getting out of petrol, so I pulled over to the side of the road and off. My passenger seemed to be asleep. I took the petrol tin from the back, the one I keep for such emergencies, you see, and just as I started for the road, the man called out.
Oh, he wasn't asleep then?
Apparently not. Did I have a smoke on me, he wanted to know. I tossed him a cigar. Never smoke myself, but just keep them for the customers. You know how that is.
Yes, of course. Go on, Mr. Williams.
Well, I started for the road again. Suddenly I heard a kind of whoosh behind me. I looked, and my car was a sheet of flame. My passenger was in the middle of it. I must have panicked. The next thing I knew, I was running up the road.
And that's all you remember?
That's all.
Anything you want to ask him, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Mr. Williams, you took your briefcase with you when you went for petrol?
I was afraid my passenger might steal it. He had his hand on it several times earlier.
You don't wear hats, Mr. Williams?
Well, I must have lost it. When I realized I was running away, I realized, too, that I had no hat. I bought a new one.
How about trouser belts, sir?
No, only braces.
That's all. Thank you, Inspector.
Now, tell us, if you will, Mr. Williams, why you never came forward until we found you.
Oh, that. Well, I guess you'd better know. You'll find out anyway. Women. Too many of them.
You are married, aren't you?
Well, to one of them. Nora. A loyal girl. No questions asked. Wonderful woman.
Yes, she is. We've talked to her. In fact, she's on her way here now.
You won't mention what I told you, gentlemen, about the others? Between us men, that is.
Yes, we'll respect your confidence, Mr. Williams, as far as the law allows. Mr. Williams, did you have a mallet in the toolbox of your car?
Yes. Yes, I did. I used it for pounding dents out of fenders.
Did you take it out when you stopped along the road on bonfire night?
Oh, come to think of it, I did. The cap of the petrol tin seemed stuck, and I think I used it to loosen the cap.
And then?
Well, I must have dropped it near the car.
Yes, you must have. Well, that'll do for now. If you'd care to wait for your wife, Nora, you can wait in the next room.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I'll do just that.
This way, Mr. Williams.
Well, thank you, Sergeant. Thank you very much.
Well, sir?
4 women. Not too much money. You pick up a tramp no one will ever miss, get him drunk, burn your car and the tramp, let the world think you died in your own car, and start over. Seems so simple. It's really quite complicated. And where there are complications, there are always discrepancies. Aren't there, Sergeant?
Discrepancies. Yeah, several. Did you notice them? I took the business of the mallets, the 3 extra wives, the disposal of the petrol tin, holes, big ones. And of all people, it was Nora Williams who supplied the next one.
If I may, Inspector, I'd like to have my husband's wallet returned now.
Oh, is there something in it he particularly wants?
Yes, some of the money. He's out of tobacco and wants to buy some cigars.
Oh.
I never saw such a man for smoking. Pipes, cigars, cigarettes. He certainly loves tobacco.
Next one. And if Robert Williams lied on that score, in how many other instances?
We found the petrol tin 15 yards from the wreck. How did it get there, Mr. Williams?
I must have carried it there and dropped it or something.
Our pathologist states positively that the hairs caught on the mallet are human hairs. How do you account for that, Mr. Williams?
How should I know? Maybe somebody got hit with it somewhere, sometime. How should I know?
You said you don't smoke. And then your wife asked for your money to buy tobacco. Why did you lie, Williams?
What's she trying to do? Frame me?
I suggest, Williams, that you had petrol in that tin all the time. That you poured it over that vagrant after you knocked him unconscious with a mallet. That you laid a trail to the car and set fire to it yourself.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What for? Why should I do a thing like that?
We have that answer, Williams. All 4 answers. In London, Brixton, Greenwich and Bournemouth. And a possible 5th in Farringham. Your story doesn't wash, Williams. We're charging you with willful murder. And I warn you that anything you say will be taken down in writing and may be used in evidence. Now, about this mallet.
And that mallet can be found today if you look for it. In an honored place. In the Black Museum. No one actually saw the crime committed by Robert Williams, did they? But the circumstances were clear, and certainly Williams's life was the life of a rascal, to say the least. However, it may interest you to know that the day following Williams's execution, a London newspaper published a last-minute interview with a prisoner in which he confessed the crime, admitted the details as Inspector Lorch had deduced them, and revealed for the first time that the man he killed was entirely unknown to him, a vagrant whom he'd picked up in his car once or twice before. To the extent that Williams paid with his life, justice was served. Of the 4 women who'd been his dupes, nothing is known except that they picked up the pieces of their lives as well as they could. And the mallet, our exhibit, can be found in its customary place in Scotland Yard in the Black Museum.
And now, until next time,
till we meet again in the same place, and I tell you another story of the Black Museum, I remain as always obediently yours.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, an ink bottle, a child's raincoat, a sofa pillow, all are touched by murder. Here's an open-end wrench. It's a familiar object. If you own an automobile, you own one of these. Or at least you've seen a mechanic use one. The steel shaft about 8 inches long. The shaft bulging into a curve shaped like a horseshoe, which fits a bolt exactly. Simple tool. Almost beautiful in its slim efficiency.
Well made, isn't it, Inspector? We're familiar with these things, Doctor. They're quite common as weapons. Yes, of course. One's skull could be cracked rather efficaciously if this were brought down hard on it.
And today, this open-end wrench can be seen in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Yes, here lies death. Here in silent rows is the ordered catalogue of the violence wreaked by man on fellow man. Here's an empty cardboard match cover. Perhaps you've tossed one into your own wastebasket this very moment, but not like this. Let's hope. No, from this one, the sulfur-headed matches were ripped to start a fire. A woman died in the burning building. Later, a man died at the end of a rope, trapped by the printed advertisement on this match cover. Ah, yes, here we are. There's the open-end wrench. It's a common tool among mechanics, even among non-mechanical types, bookkeepers, clerks, teachers. No sign of violence or death upon it. Merely a bit of shaped, patterned steel produced for use in the manufacture and repair of modern machines. Look at it in ordinary circumstances, and it will evoke no thought of tragedy in you, or even in the motorist who traveled an English highway one quiet spring morning. Going at a normal speed, enjoying the fresh sunlight, the new clean green of fields and rising hills. The road curved ahead. White posts marked the edge of the embankment. The road heeled slightly, turning to the left.
Ah, quite a view. Good God, that's a nasty curve. If you're not awake. That fence. Good heavens. There's a car down there.
Minutes only until he's back in his own car, speeding toward the nearest town, toward the nearest police station. There.
Constable, there's a wreck on the curve about a mile south of here.
You have anything to do with it, mister?
Oh, no, of course not. I noticed the broken fence and saw the car down the hill. I say, there seems to be a woman in it. Look, you better come. Bring help.
The doctor, who was also the local coroner,
Needed little time to determine which of his functions were called for at the wreck.
She's been past help for hours. Must have gone off the road during the night.
I've notified the superintendent about the accident, Doctor.
Yes, well, you fellows will want to trace the car. Any identification on the body?
Nothing in the woman's purse, sir. There ought to be laundry or dry cleaner's marks. It's pretty hard to stay identified these days, Doctor.
Yes, of course. You can tell the ambulance men to take her to the hospital.
Hospital, sir?
Or autopsy. I can't just sign a certificate accidental death, you know, Constable.
Yes, sir. Very well, sir.
The ambulance drove off to the local hospital. Dr. Mason followed in his own car. At the wreck, the constable saluted a newcomer.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Johnson. Turned turtle, I see.
Yes, sir. This is the man who discovered the wreck, sir. Mr. Frisbee, Superintendent Foster.
Oh, how do you do, sir?
Mr. Frisbee. Yes. You left your name and address?
With the constable, sir. If I may, I have a business appointment.
Yes, you go ahead. We'll send for you if we need you for the inquest.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, just let me know if you want me. I'll be available. Any time, sir.
Anything extraordinary, Johnson?
Nothing, sir, so far as we've seen.
No fire?
No, sir.
I'll have a look at it.
Very good, sir.
Superintendent Foster poked around in the twisted metal. A point caught his attention.
Johnson, any idea which way she was traveling?
Downgrade, sir. There are rather clear tire marks on the roadway, leading to the break in the fence, sir.
Downgrade. Strange. The gear shift lever is in second position.
Second gear, sir?
Apparently. That grade isn't that steep. Just a point. Well, a woman driver, strange road at night.
She wasn't in the driver's seat, sir.
Oh? Tossed over as the car fell?
Can't say, sir. I'd have expected, sir, that she'd have been pinned behind the steering wheel.
Yes. You may be right about that. Well, we'll leave things as they are. The insurance people usually want to see these wrecks. Hello? What's this?
Open-end wrench, sir. Probably from the...
Yes, Constable?
I was going to say the toolbox, sir. The toolbox was locked. No other tools around.
Right. Well, bring it along to the station house. No sense leaving it out here to rust. And usual routine. Trace the registration of the car, locate the owner, or the next of kin, and check if it was the woman's car.
The usual routine for another auto accident. Another careless or sleepy driver. The usual telegrams were sent. The usual telephone calls were made. The same afternoon, Constable Johnston reported to his superintendent.
Yes, Johnson?
Papers on the accident, sir.
Yes. I see. Owner Martin Beach. Avon Mews, London. Has he been notified?
Yes, sir. He's on his way down. The woman was his wife, sir.
Yeah. Must have been a shock.
I took the call, sir. He kept saying he couldn't understand what she was doing all the way out here.
Well, we'll deal gently with him. Dr. Mason reported yet?
No, sir. Nothing on the autopsy as yet.
Taking him a long time. Well, let's see. Get me Dr. Mason, please. At the hospital. Did you make certain on the tire tracks, Johnson?
We did, sir. They matched perfectly. The car was coming down, sir, on the side of the road away from the fence. It seems to have swerved suddenly, just above the curve, and made rather a beeline for the edge.
Are you suggesting she went over purposely, Johnson?
No, sir. It seemed like a point, sir. Most cars at least try to follow the road, sir.
I notice you keep referring to the car, not to the woman.
She wasn't in the driver's seat, sir, when we found her.
Stickler for detail, aren't you, Constable? Come in.
You're both here. Good.
I just put a call through to you, Doctor. Yes? Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, he's just arrived. Well, what did you find, Doctor?
You ask that as if you knew.
Just a deduction. You don't usually take this long time on these jobs.
I didn't expect to, until I found alcohol in her stomach.
Oh, drunken driver.
I wouldn't know about that.
In any case, she wasn't driving when the car went through that fence.
Johnson's been suggesting that rather stubbornly.
He couldn't be more right, Foster.
Why not?
The dead don't drive.
Hello? Anything else?
Quite a bit. In the first place, death was not caused by the accident. She was dead well before the car went over.
You told us that. You don't know how.
Strangulation. Choked. Probably unconscious at the time.
Well, what do you base that conclusion on?
4 bruises. Head and neck.
I suppose I thought the accident...
Well, the dead don't drive and they don't bruise, Constable. Those marks were made while she was still alive.
I see. Definitely murder, Doctor.
Definitely.
I'd like to see the body. Come along, Constable. Your instinct...
3 men enter the morgue at the small country hospital. 3 grim faces betray no emotion as they view the woman's body. The doctor says,
"You'll notice the marks the strangler's thumbs made. There. The obvious bruise is here, just below her hairline, on her forehead."
The superintendent of police says,
"I see. Interesting, the shape of that bruise. Almost like a small horseshoe."
Diffidently, the constable clears his throat. An inquiring glance from his superintendent. The young officer says,
"We might try for actual size, sir. That kind of mark could have been made by that open-end wrench."
Now today, that open-end wrench is to be seen in the Black Museum. The doctor placed the bulged end of the tool against the woman's forehead. The 3 men stood there silently a moment. The constable spoke.
"No question about it, is there, sir?" "Not as far as I can see. Johnson, when this beach fellow arrives, say nothing about any of this. And I shall want a trunk call placed immediately. I want to speak with Inspector Hall at Scotland Yard."
The ponderous, inevitable juggernaut that is police work began to move, gained momentum. A fast car brought Inspector Hall and Sergeant Williams from the yard before train connections permitted the arrival of Martin Beach. The inspector listened intently as Superintendent Foster outlined the details. Then, quietly, no fuss, no newspaper headlines. Detectives were dispatched to run a check. Shortly thereafter, a grief-stricken husband arrived at the station house in the company of Dr. Mason.
"There's no question about my identification, Superintendent. Dr. Mason will bear me out. I knew her the moment that is..."
"Doctor." "Yes, it's Mrs. Beach."
"I can't understand it. I simply can't. She was a good driver, better than I."
"How did it happen that she was out alone?"
"We lived a quiet life. Avonmews is in a suburb of London, really. She'd often take the car for a drive. I'd go to sleep. I had to get up early. My business is in the city. She said she wanted some fresh air last night. I didn't listen until I woke this morning. I can't understand it. Why should you be so far?"
A simple story, quite commonplace, quite honest. One question seemed to puzzle her husband more than it disturbed him.
"Liquor? Whiskey, you mean?" "No, an occasional drink at a friend's place, that was all. Why? Are you suggesting Louise was a drunken driver?"
No, they were suggesting nothing, merely asking a routine question. Yes, they would release the body shortly.
We had no relations, no one. We had only each other. I shall have to notify our friends."
Yes, the police agreed sympathetically, and Superintendent Foster and Dr. Mason escorted him to his London train. Meanwhile, on the Middlebury Road...
Your name, Carey? Yes, sir. My name's Williams, CID. My identification.
Yes, Sergeant. Something gone wrong?
You heard of the accident down the hill?
Yes, of course.
How late do you keep this petrol station open?
12, 1 o'clock, depends on the traffic.
And last night?
I closed up about 1. Locked the tanks and then
Any customers around that time?
Well, there was a dark sedan, man and woman.
You got a good look at the woman?
He was driving, bought 5 gallons. She was asleep in the front seat.
Any sign of whiskey?
Well, he had a breath on him, Sergeant. Seemed in a hurry, too. Edgy.
Now, look. This photo mean anything to you?
Yes, it looks a little... It's hard to tell at night as the light's bad. Is she sleeping there in the picture?
No. She's dead.
They call it backtracking. They try to trace the car along the road it traveled. The gas stations first. In this case, where whiskey was present, the taverns and the inns were checked as well.
You're the landlord here? Yes, sir. My wife said you're the police.
Yes. We're trying to trace a man and a woman. This picture mean anything to you?
Yes, sir. She was here last night. Till closing time. Had a bit too much, I'm afraid, sir.
No. Was she alone?
No, sir. No, with a shortish fella. Dark, quiet, in a nervous sort of way. I remember, because, he wanted to buy a bottle, but I'd none to spare. And I rather thought what with driving and all, they'd already had enough.
That evening, Sergeant Williams gave the inspector his own reports from that of the men assigned to the railroad portion of the inquiry.
They routed the conductor out of his bed. He remembers the fellow all right. Bought his ticket on the train. Complete stranger. Shortish and dark.
Yes, she was with a man all right. Seems to me we'd better break the news to Beach. It won't be pleasant.
It wasn't pleasant. Martin Beach took it quietly, but with obvious shock.
Louise? With another man? Inspector, you can't be serious.
I'm afraid I am. Your wife's picture has been tentatively identified by a petrol station owner and by an innkeeper on the Middlebury Road. They'll be taken over to the hospital to check tomorrow. And she was with a man.
No, it's not possible. No one could have been that secretive. Why? We just lived for each other.
Oh, it's an old story to us, Mr. Beach. You're a busy man. Your wife was alone a good deal.
But when? How?
Well, you told us yourself. She used the car alone and quite often at night.
If I could get my hands on him. Oh, what fools we mortals be.
We want him too, Mr. Beach. Now, will you help us?
Of course, anything. Anything at all.
Then, may we search your wife's effects?
Of course, Inspector. Search the whole house if you think it will.
They were quite thorough, of course, and very quickly they were successful.
I found these in the stocking box at the rear of the bureau drawer, Inspector.
I see. Letters. Mr. Beach, do you know a Fred Hennessy?
No. May I see the letters?
I think you'd rather not. And we'll be checking them for fingerprints, of course. They're all addressed to your wife. The last one makes the arrangements for a meeting place with the car.
Is there a return address, Inspector?
There is.
Good luck, Inspector.
The inspector and Sergeant Williams had luck. However, it was not exactly good luck.
Fred Hennessy? No, there's no Hennessy living here.
Well, now, perhaps he used another name. A shortish, dark fellow, with a flair for letter writing.
No, haven't had any shortish men staying here in months.
Well, this is 346 Greenville Street, isn't it?
Well, there's nowhere else, Inspector. What's more, I don't have any letter writers here. Every one of my men roomers except one works at the car factory. They're a tough crowd, Inspector, but they're nice enough to me. I take good care of them, I do.
And the one who doesn't build automobiles?
Oh, he's a constable, he is. Now, what would you want to see him for?
A good question, and a big disappointment. Still, the machinery ground on. The reports came in to the small bare office at the yard.
Here we are. Fingerprint reports, Inspector. Now, the prints on the letters match those they found on the gear shift lever in the wrecked car. The ridge patterns conform to the smudges on the rinse too, sir.
The conclusion is obvious. At the very least, it placed the maker of those fingerprints in contact with the murdered woman in the murder car with the murder weapon.
It looks so, as if he pulled off the road, did the job, then started the car downgrade and jumped.
Yes, probably. The unlocked door on the driver's side would indicate that. But what about those prints I told you to try and get?
We have them, sir. Lifted them neatly. I was saving that for the last, sir. You see, they match.
Yes, very good. Thought he was clever. Well, murder's usual in amateurs' crime, isn't it, Sergeant? What about the men to identify him?
They'll be in London in the morning, sir.
To Sergeant Williams, the case seemed complete. The inspector was still somewhat cautious.
It will stick, sir, in any court.
I'll feel better if we have the motive, Sergeant. I'd like a complete case. Identifications have been upset before, and even fingerprints. Given a good motive, we'll hang the gentleman. In fact, we may be able to say he hung himself with his own cleverness. Inspector Hall here. I see. Very good, Davis. No, just keep your eye on the place. Williams and I'll be along directly. Get your head, Sergeant. Very good, sir. Our quarry's gone calling on the lady. And so are we.
The police car sped silently through the London streets, out to a pleasant suburb. It drew up to the curb near a small house detached from its neighbors, surrounded by a hedge and trees. A man stepped out of the shadow, spoke softly to the inspector. He remained at the car as the inspector and the sergeant walked to the front door of the house and rang the bell.
Yes?
Miss Jeffrey? Miss Dorothy Jeffrey?
That's right.
My name is Hall, CID. My identification. May we come in?
Why, yes. Why not?
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
Well, as a matter of fact, Miss Jeffrey, we stopped by to see your caller, Mr. Marchant Beach, I believe?
Inspector. Well, this is a pleasure to see you all the way out here.
Is it Mr. Beach?
Of course.
You know why they're here, don't you?
I assume you saw me come by.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
Don't you know, Miss Jeffrey?
I know CID inspectors just don't drop in or come by. Martin, have you been up to something?
Stay out of this, Dorothy.
I'll not stay out of it. If we're to be married, I've a right to know.
We've dropped by to tell Mr. Beach about his wife.
Wife? You never mentioned a wife, Martin.
You're not arresting me, Inspector. I was home and asleep when she was killed.
The innkeeper says not Beach. So does the petrol station owner. So does the conductor of the train you took back to London from Middlebury.
I said you're not taking me in. You're not? You're not?
Inspector, there are French doors into the garden.
Your house is well covered front and back, Miss Jeffrey. He won't get far. That's his warning. He'll stop running now.
Oh, this is not the expected way to break an engagement to be married.
Yes, I understand, miss. First, you'll get over it. This manner of ending a relationship is far less permanent than the one your fiancé used to gain his freedom from his wife. You know, miss, the chances are quite good that they've got away with it. If he hadn't written some fake love letters and forgotten to hide a certain open-end wrench.
And today, the open-end wrench can be seen in its special place in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment.
It's an old dodge, of course. May have worked many times. Commit a murder, wreck an automobile to cover its traces. It might have worked this time if Martin Beach had known that dead bodies do not bruise. If he'd been really clever and had succeeded in burning the car and the body. If. But he was not really clever. His cleverness failed him. Failed him at 8 o'clock one morning in Dartmoor prison. As for Dorothy Jeffrey, she disappeared when she had come into the great anonymity which is London. And so until next time, till we meet in the same place for another story about the Black Museum, I remain as always obediently yours.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. A repository of death. A museum of murder. Yes, here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a portable typewriter, a jack for an automobile, an ice pick, all are touched by murder. Here's a pair of spectacles. It's a familiar object, neat, not too large, tortoiseshell frames with gold tops. You've seen them 100 times on girls who obviously have decided that they must wear glasses. They'll make the glasses as decorative as possible, but this pair...
Women's glasses, right on top in the suitcase.
And pretty thoroughly smashed. Poor Daisy.
Something, whatever it was, must have hit her awfully hard to smash her spectacles like this.
Today, those spectacles can be seen in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum. In just a moment, you will hear The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. Now, The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Now, here we are, the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Yes, here lies death. Who died by these objects? The dead, named here on the white labels with the black lettering, or the killers, named in equal place, in equal size, wherever they are known. A mandolin string. Here we are. It's made for music, a mandolin string. Stretch it across the top of a stairway, see it blend and disappear into the dark carpet background. Stretch it ankle high and listen in the dark for the sound of falling. Sound of murder. Here's a French novel, romance, with a blackened perforation in the center of the pages where the bullet passed, which ended romance. Now, here we are, the spectacles. Rather pathetic spectacles. The lenses are cracked, the frame twisted and bent, the gilt tarnished. Many other things were tarnished, including a man's reputation, by the chain of events which began that morning when Mrs. Oliver came to see Inspector Laswell at the yard.
I understand, Mrs. Oliver. Perhaps your daughter thought she'd let you know, but didn't after all.
I wish I could believe that, Inspector. I can't. Daisy was so determined when she left that night.
And since she went to the train, you've heard nothing?
I wired Ron. I never liked him. Something, I don't know. I thought my Daisy do better for herself than a chicken farmer. Anyway, I wired, asked him if Daisy was there. I received this in reply, Inspector.
Thought Daisy coming Saturday, not Friday. Went to meet her. Not there. Letter follows. Ron Smith. This was last Saturday?
Yes. I wired on Monday. This answer came back the same day. The letter came in yesterday, Wednesday.
Oh, thank you. Dear Mrs. Oliver, you do not know how shocked I am. Daisy missing since Friday afternoon. This is really terrible. She wrote asking me to meet her Saturday. I went...
The heart-sick words of a worried man, the tone and feeling of the letter, plus the fear and the tears of the mother, sent Inspector Caswell to Larkspur in Sussex, the nearest town to Wren Smith's chicken farm, the railway terminal for the area. He turned first to that prime source of all rural information, the local pub.
Evening, landlord. Pint of beer, please.
Yes, sir, of course.
Haven't I seen you someplace before, my good man?
What? Oh, Jack Sheen. You have seen me someplace before. Drink up, man. It's good to see a familiar face.
Familiar face drawn by a familiar scent.
You're not down here on business.
I am. And so are you.
No, I wanted to keep this quiet. For a while, anyway.
With that crowd? Over at the dartboard? Your old-time friends, Caswell. Morton of the Times, Alsop of the Guardian, Durr of the News, and yours truly.
You fellas have the sense of smell of a ferret.
We have to. It's our living. Do you think the girl is dead, Caswell?
There it was. Words of one syllable. Literally one syllable. Do you think the girl is dead? Inspector Caswell shrugged and turned to his drink. Without apparent effort, he drifted into conversation with the landlord while Jack Sheen stood by, quietly, unobtrusively.
Have there been any talk hereabouts recently about a girl who's missing?
Some?
Well, girls get silly ideas sometimes, especially the young ones.
Only silly thing about this girl was the man she went for.
Huh?
They get that way sometimes, even the best of them.
Oh, I know what you mean. Anything wrong with the man in it?
Ne'er-do-well. Owes for feed. Everything in sight. Lives in a hut on his farm. Not even a proper house.
Oh, that's her?
This Oliver girl now. Bright. Sweet as they come. Real pert in them fancy glasses she always wore. Then, off the deep end over this Smith fella. Never know why they do it.
Whereabouts is this chicken farm?
Right fork east. Second right after the fork. You thinking of going up there?
Oh, I might drop over. Told the girl's mother I'd look around. Maybe talk to Smith. From his letters, he's pretty well upset himself.
Him? Upset over that girl? Not much. What's happened to your friend?
My friend? Why, he was just... 5 will get you 10, landlord. My friend is halfway there by now.
Inspector Caswell was absolutely right. Jack Sheen was well up the right fork and turning into the lane that led to Ron Smith's chicken farm.
Who's there? I said, who's there?
I'm Jack Sheen of the London Daily Post. I'd like to talk to you. What makes you think I want to talk to you? Oh, most people talk to me. If they don't, I usually write what I think they might have said. Very simple.
Smart, aren't you?
I know my business, I hope. Fellows down in the village suggest you don't.
Yeah, they like to talk.
Don't you?
Not about things that ain't my business.
Daisy Oliver is your business.
She was.
Meaning, exactly?
Daisy said she was coming down last Friday. I left my gate unlocked. Like you found it tonight. She was always touchy about that.
She never came, though.
That's right. Now, all this talk. I'm more worried about her than I ought to be. Nancy's going to make a fuss about that pretty soon.
Nancy? Well?
A girl, Nancy Noble, lives up the road a piece. Her and me have been walking out lately. Daisy knew. I figured she'd be coming down like she wrote on account of...
Apparently, Mr. Ron Smith, chicken farmer, was as garrulous in his way as his hands were in theirs. He clucked on at great rate. Finally, Jack Sheen got away, scribbled a bit in his notebook, and then off to sleep. But next morning, quite early...
Hello there.
What? Oh, you startled me.
You don't look as if you scare easy.
I don't.
Who are you walking into a barn like this behind a busy girl's back?
A fellow who thinks you'd make a better wife for Ron Smith than some frail little girl from the city.
You know your way around, don't you?
There was banter and introductions. Nancy was quite flattered, of course, over the visit of a reporter. She talked.
Sure, I met Daisy.
Like her?
All right. If you go for milksops.
I see. I heard Ron was going to marry her right after Christmas.
Not if he could break the engagement, he wasn't. He's all set to marry me.
Oh, so that's the way the wind blows, huh?
It sure does. Or did. Now, with all the fuss over Daisy disappearing, well, Ron's too upset even to think, I guess.
Upset, is he?
He told me, night before last. He's afraid she's killed herself.
So Daisy may be dead. And Ron is afraid she may have committed suicide. Well, Jack Sheen has turned up a fact or two, hasn't he? Of course, Inspector Caswell hasn't been inactive.
Mr. Jeffrey, I'm told by our host, the landlord, that you think you saw the Oliver girl last Friday night.
I think so. I was coming up the road, out past the fork. My place is out past Smith's. There was a girl ahead of me. She turned to look back. I thought I saw her wearing spectacles.
Is that all?
Well, she must have turned in at Smith's. She didn't pass my place. Reed here saw her real close.
Did you, Mr. Reed?
Yes, sir. I met Jeffrey on the road. I was coming down to the village after fixing the septic tank out to Jeffrey's place. Girl passed real close. Oliver girl, all right. Wearing her specs and carrying a suitcase.
Ah, that's right. She had a suitcase like she walked out from the train. Why, the Smith fella didn't go in and meet her.
Then there was the routine visit to the cottage where Daisy usually stayed when she was in Larkspur.
Did you hear from Miss Oliver, ma'am, that she was coming down here this past Friday?
She didn't, and she always stayed with me. If she'd planned to come down, well, you never know, what with young girls being so free nowadays. And she had spent all her savings on these trips. She told me that last time she was here.
When was that?
Oh, about 2 months ago. She seemed so nervous, poor thing. Even then, jumpy, always a little scared, like a rabbit, sort of. Oh, I don't know. I wish I didn't keep thinking.
And finally, there was Edith Staple. Miss Staple had a friend in the outlying area, and Miss Staple had been crossing a field near the chicken farm, a kind of shortcut.
Yes, Inspector. I'm positive I saw her. I saw 2 men on the road, too. One passed her. The men met, talked a little, and went on. By the time I passed the lane to Smith's place, she was in as far as the first shed.
You saw quite a bit, didn't you?
The road is on a little rise just there. I was coming up to it, and everyone was, sort of outlined against the sky.
Well, thank you, Miss Staple. Thank you very much.
There must have been a girl. 9 chances out of 10 it was Daisy Oliver. But how to prove it? Where had she disappeared to? Inspector Caswell and Jack Sheen compared notes. They stayed around Larkspur. That fact alone started the talk, which had impetus enough in any case.
People don't just disappear, I tell you. She must be somewhere.
She turned into Smith's place. Want to bet she never came out.
Nice girls don't take chances going alone to men's homes, even when they're more decent than the hut he lives in.
I'll get him, you'll see. He did the girl in. Want to bet?
The talk reached Smith, of course. On the heels of the talk came Jack Sheen.
Nice lot of chickens you've got here, Smith.
We didn't come out here to talk about chickens.
No? What then?
You're trying to get more on Daisy and me.
The town has plenty on you, they think.
They're long tongues. They wag too much.
You can stop them, quite easily.
How, I'd like to know.
Oh, just ask Inspector Caswell to bring his crew out here to dig up your farm. They'll find nothing. That'll stop the talk.
I'll do it. They can dig any place they want. Except I wouldn't want them to disturb my chickens.
The remarks were duly reported to the inspector. His comment was,
"We'll be glad not to disturb his chickens."
I should think that's exactly what you would do.
Oh, I don't know a thing about chickens, except roasted.
Look, he was rather pointed about it, Don't disturb my chickens. You know, if I were you, Caswell, I'd do some digging around that chicken run. Might save you a lot of extra trouble. You catch on, Inspector?
The inspector caught on to the extent of asking Ron Smith to drop in at the police station while Jeffrey and Reed and a few of the others with Jack Sheen began their digging.
Not much good this ground. Good enough for chickens.
I got something?
No, just a rotten stick. Nothing suspicious like. There's something here.
Yes, I'd say you had something there. Lift out your shovel, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Now, look, I'm going to open it. I want you to witness that I neither take out nor put in any object. Ready?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, now just watch this.
It's the girl's suitcase, all right. I'd know those specs any place.
Well, today those spectacles can be found in the Black Museum.
In just a moment, we will continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. And now we continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
It was her suitcase. Yes, there it was, the earth of the chicken run clinging to its freight handle, its shabby sides. Jack Sheen stopped the digging, sent Reed pell-mell for the inspector.
Women's glasses. Right on top in the suitcase.
And pretty thoroughly smashed. Poor Daisy.
Something, whatever it was, must have hit her awfully hard to smash her spectacles like this.
Shall we go on, Inspector?
Digging? Oh, of course. But carefully. We don't want the edges of the spades to disfigure anything.
The first thing they found was part of the torso. Then the limbs wrapped in sacking. Finally, the head in a tin box, buried shallowly in the chicken run.
I've had enough. Are we through?
Sorry I didn't have a regular police crew for this. You can go along. And thanks. You too, Mr. Reed.
Where's Smith?
At your local police station, where Mr. Sheen and I will be interviewing him in a very short while.
They interviewed him. It was quite simple at first. I gave him the facts.
We've found her, Smith, thanks to Mr. Sheen here and the strong arms of some of your neighbors. Well, what have you to say? First, I must warn you that anything you may say may be taken down in writing and used as evidence. Now, go ahead.
I didn't kill her. I didn't.
That's only a beginning.
She came down on Friday to have it out with me. She was so nervous. She was all twitchy. She said she wouldn't leave my place until we'd set a date for the wedding. But she knew about Nancy. She knew that. We had a row, a real hard row. Well, I guess I gave in. I said the 27th of December, right after Christmas. Then I promised I'd tell Nancy that night. Daisy wasn't satisfied until I'd gone right out looking for Nancy. I couldn't find her. I came back and Daisy was hanging from the beam in my hut. She must have jumped from the table. It was awful.
What did you do? Why didn't you go for help, a doctor?
Well, I cut her down first. I thought there might be some life left.
Did you try artificial respiration?
And as soon as I got her on the bed, I saw it was no use.
But you still didn't call anybody.
I was afraid. I panicked. I thought they wouldn't believe me. They'd all think I killed her and try to make it look like suicide.
So you buried her?
Yes, in the morning.
But you cut her up first. You deliberately dismembered the body in an attempt...
Have you ever tried to dispose of a body? True, a body is 76% water, but have you ever tried to get rid of one? It's almost impossible to burn without special apparatus. Burying it leaves it intact. What do? Find a lime pit? Even that isn't foolproof. What do you do?
After you knew she was dead, you still wrote letters to her home.
I couldn't stop doing that. If people were to believe that I hadn't killed her myself.
May I, Inspector?
Of course, Jack.
What about these?
Glasses. You found them, too.
How did they get this way?
They must have fallen off when I cut her down. I suppose I stepped on them or something. Her head hit the table as I was carrying her to the bed. I couldn't believe Daisy was gone.
Smith couldn't believe she was dead. Jack Sheen and Inspector Caswell couldn't believe other items.
It doesn't fit, Caswell. It doesn't.
What's bothering you about it?
Look, a girl who's just been told her wedding date doesn't hang herself in the next half hour.
I saw that. I sent his shoes down to London to the laboratory. If he did step on those glasses, there'll be bits of glass on the soles or heels.
I'm no doctor, Caswell, but did you notice any rope marks on the neck?
I didn't. I have sent for one of the medical examiners. We'll know all about that very soon.
They held Smith on an open charge. The least would be an illegal burial and failure to notify the proper authorities. Meanwhile, Sir Harold Hubert, one of the yard's best medical men, came to Larkspur. He worked. He made his report.
The girl did not die of strangulation, gentlemen.
What was that? She didn't.
There's a slight discoloration of the throat, but that was probably caused after death.
Oh, what did she die from, then?
Shock. Caused by the multiple bruises all over her body. That girl was beaten to death.
Now the questions descended on Sir Harold's head in a deluge.
No sign of strangulation at all?
She may have been partially hung. There's congestion of the blood vessels of the throat.
But she didn't die up there.
If she was hung at all, she was alive when she was cut down.
What else could have caused the congestion in the throat?
Manual strangulation. Or she could have been knocked down, as is a logical assumption in this situation.
Did you knock her down and step on her throat, Smith?
Of course not. How could I have when she was hanging as I entered the building?
You're certain she was hanging and dead?
I know she was hanging. I'm as sure as I can be that she was dead.
All right. Take him back to the cell.
There it was. The expert said no hanging. The man accused contradicted that statement at every turn. Once again, the inspector and Jack Sheen went out to the chicken farm.
What are you up to?
Give me a boost up onto the table.
Okay. Now what?
I'm not going to hang myself. Come on up. I think it'll hold both of us.
All right. Here I come. Not the safest perch in the world. Okay, now what?
Look here. Along the beam.
What a filthy animal. Didn't Smith ever clean his place?
Maybe it's just as well he never did.
Look, I don't get it.
He said a dozen times he found her hanging. If a rope passed over this beam, as Smith maintains...
The dust up here would show the marks.
Do you see any marks, old boy?
Not a thing. Not even a bit of rope fiber.
Sir Harold is right. No death by strangulation. Not by any rope which passed over this beam. I wonder how friend Smith is...
Smith did his best to explain the matter. In fact, he did a trifle better than his best. That's possible.
The rope must have caught in the joists. She didn't weigh very much.
And by the way, where is the rope?
I burned it. It gave me the willies.
What kind of rope was it?
Ordinary hemp rope.
Not sash cord?
No, hemp.
What did you intend it for?
Oh, no special purpose. You always have rope around a farm.
Inspector Caswell reminded Mr. Smith quite tersely.
Hemp rope leaves its fibers caught in rough wood when it's passed over the wood. There's no sign of fibers, or any mark in the dust.
Well, then the dust settled back after I took her down.
How did you take her down?
I lifted her with one arm and freed the rope with the other.
Now, let's go back to the beginning, Smith. When did you first see her that night?
Oh, she came to the gate. It was locked. She called. I let her in. We argued. Then we made up, and I went to tell Nancy. When I came back...
Hadn't you better keep the story straight, Smith?
That is the story.
You said before you cut her down. You told Mr. Sheen you left the gate open because finding it closed upset her always.
Then I made a mistake.
Oh, you made a mistake, all right. You made your story much too involved. You see, the laboratory has reported on your shoes Not only are there no bits of glass in them, proving you did not step on them, but there are traces of lipstick on one and traces of contact with human skin on both. I submit, and I shall so state to the jury at your trial, that you attacked the girl with force and violence, that you smashed her glasses on the table, that you beat and kicked her into insensibility and death. Your story tripped you, and the laboratory did the rest. I'd say, Smith, next time, keep it simple. But I doubt if there'll be any next time for you.
Well, today, those spectacles can be seen in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Orson Welles.
Exactly how Daisy Oliver met her death was never brought out, not even at the trial. Whether Ron Smith beat her to death or whether she fell to her death, no one knows. But she was murdered, and by Ron Smith. There's no reasonable doubt about that. Nor was there any doubt about this man's character. Not only did he write of his concern over her disappearance to Daisy's mother, not only did he write long, enduring love letters to a girl he knew was dead, but from his cell, as he awaited trial, he sent a wreath to her funeral, palm leaves and one lily, with the phrase attached, "Until we meet again." I wonder if they ever did meet again. Well, until next time, till we meet in the same place and I tell you another story about the Black Museum, I remain as always obediently yours.